guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my favorite high-end foundations for people with dry skin. So let's get started. The first foundation is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, and I am in shade Y225, and I believe this shade is a little too dark for me by maybe 1 or 2 shades. I like this foundation because it is a medium to full coverage foundation depending on how many layers you apply. Also, this foundation gives a natural finish, meaning it's not matte or dewy, but more of a skin-like finish. And this foundation does not cling to or emphasize dry patches, which really is an important thing for somebody who has dry skin. The next foundation is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This foundation is medium to buildable coverage. With that being said, it is difficult to get a extremely full coverage foundation. If you're looking for that, I don't think this is the foundation for you. Silk Radiant Foundation, but it's not dewy. I'd say it's in between a natural finish and a dewy finish. I like this foundation for dry skin because it does not emphasize dry patches. For me, I'll try out a foundation, and whether or not I like it, the first test I put it through is whether or not it emphasizes my dry patches. And it's extremely hard to find a good foundation that does not emphasize dry patches. So I really like that foundation. The next foundation is the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. And I really like this foundation because I like to add this into my dewy foundations because a lot of times when you want a dewy foundation, you're not going to find full coverage. So what this does is it gives me my full coverage without changing the finish of my dewy foundation. So I get the best of both worlds. So I get a dewy finish with the full coverage. So I really like this foundation. This foundation does wear good on its own, but I do prefer adding it to a dewy foundation because the finish of this foundation is more of a natural finish, whereas it's not really matte, it's not really dewy, it's more natural looking. So I really like that foundation. My next foundation is the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation. I really like this foundation because it is a dewy finish. I highly recommend this foundation to people with dry skin. However, if you have normal or oily skin, I do not recommend this foundation for you because I think it will tend to look more oily opposed to dewy. This foundation is a medium to buildable coverage, and I'm in shade G15 Cosmic. However, I believe that shade is a little too dark for me right now, but it fits me in the summertime. This foundation does not cling to or emphasize dry patches. My favorite foundation is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. This foundation is a medium to full coverage foundation. Also, this foundation gives a beautiful radiant finish. I find that this foundation is in between a natural finish and a dewy finish, and I really like this foundation because you can achieve your full coverage look without feeling like your foundation is cakey or heavy. This foundation does not emphasize or cling to dry patches, but instead this foundation covers up dry patches, making them less noticeable. This foundation also wears for a long time, which I really like because I find a lot of foundations tend to break up on me, especially around my dry patches. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.